The global COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound impact on the arts and cultural landscape here in Wales, across the UK and around the world. We have seen radical disruptions and transformations to the ways that we work, the kinds of work that we create, and the revenue that's generated. Freelance artists and creatives have been right at the centre of this maelstrom. With everything that has changed and without any guaranteed financial income, most freelancers have experienced more precarity than ever before, which naturally has had an impact on emotional and mental well-being. In October 2021, Wellbeing developed a wellbeing programme for artists called How You Doing Sut Mae'n Mynd, and we sought to find out what artists needed then. We developed an iterative programme to respond to these needs. In a sector that has been transformed by the impact of the pandemic, How You Doing offered freelance artists a space to pause, reflect and connect. The majority of participants in the programme were participatory artists, so the emphasis became not just about general well-being, but about offering artists a space to consider the broader well-being implications of being a creative freelancer. Working as a participatory artist can be mentally, physically and emotionally draining. Artists told us that they often felt isolated and unsupported when it came to carrying the responsibility for others. Others found the financial precarity of the work exhausting and questioned the sustainability of doing this work because of the impact on their own health and well-being. Exhaustion and burnout are real consequences of working in an unsupported way in our sector. Many artists described feeling stuck, lost, isolated and exhausted, as one person put it, just delivering and delivering and delivering. Burnout happens over a period of time, so it can be difficult to notice it's happening until it's too late. And the stress that we've been experiencing leads to a collapse in our nervous system. How You Doing gave artists the chance to recharge and recalibrate and to digest some of the change, especially post-pandemic. So what were the main themes that participants and facilitators identified as being of value? Slowing down, safety, permission, self-awareness, vulnerability, acceptance, connection, belonging, and finally, mutual support. How You Doing was an artist wellbeing programme, a kind of a pilot, a beginning, a first step towards finding out what artists need and what our responsibility as an artist network and further as organisations and funders might be to support artists' wellbeing. The benefits for participants are clear. After taking part, participants reported feeling a greater sense of clarity, focus and purpose, leading to them feeling more confident, empowered and energised. Fueled by this newfound sense of clarity and confidence and agency, participants were able to describe what they needed in order to practice more sustainably. Participants reflected on the value of creativity as a source of nourishment and personal meaning, for its impact on well-being and for its ability to prompt reflection, insight and learning. For participatory artists, the reciprocal nature of their work was highlighted, the deep connection of their own creative process and their work with others, and the importance of looking after our own well-being in order to care for others. Through the programme, artists felt empowered to express their own needs, which included increased self-care, facilitated spaces for reflection and learning, and a space to voice their experiences in order to challenge the structural inequalities inherent in the systems and structures in which they work. In what ways can we enable artists to have a stronger voice in project development and evaluation more generally? This would support artists to hone and develop reflective practice skills, enabling them to improve, grow and develop their own practice while also more effectively contributing to programme outcomes. The reality is that for most artists, we work in a precarious gig economy with few rights and little job security. Freelance artists often struggle to care for themselves because they feel the need to prioritise their work or paid work over their own well-being. How artists are funded and paid is not separate from artists' well-being. A universal basic income for artists might be one solution, but others could include increasing the daily rate for artists, making sure that artists are paid for their planning, their preparation, their evaluation, and any debriefing sessions that they're part of. And there's more work for us to do in order to break down the stigma that exists still for some artists around accessing wellbeing courses. In Wales, a relatively small art sector, some artists have shared the vulnerability they felt about engaging in something like this with peers, funders, colleagues, potential employers, about revealing really how they're doing and maybe being judged for that. For example, is there a need for more one-to-one provision for artists who want to explore their practice in relation to a specific health issue that they have that they may not wish to disclose or share with others in a group setting? We have found that there is a clear need for facilitated professional development programs such as How You Doing for artists to be able to deepen their relationship with their own practice, to grow and learn from each other, to celebrate successes, and for participatory artists to share the weight of responsibility and emotional burden of the work. Such programs not only support artists' well-being, but also better equip artists to actively address inequitable working practices, creating a fairer, safer, more effective and sustainable sector.